This is Answer Meditation, and you're tuning in to Sandy Daley.
Natural beauty.
The original 3 C's, the Black Carrie Bradshaw.
Listen.
You want the gossip? You want the information? The news? The real talk?
You such a
You are now tuning into the Daily Grind with me, Sandy Daley. Let's go, baby. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, as I always say, because I know it's morning somewhere. So good evening, everyone. My name is Sandy Daley, and I welcome you to another edition of the Daily Grind with me, Sandy Daley. It has been an amazing week here in Canada. Of course, we had our elections. So the Liberals won. Okay, congrats to them. For whosoever voted or didn't vote, obviously it is a time for us all to come together as one country, as one nation, and we wish them the best as they move forward in governing this country. Now, as I said, the Liberals won, but we did have Mr. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, doing his dance. And I wanted to show this because, he's giving like Obama vibes. I can't dance like him, but I want to show you what Mr. Mark Carney was doing here, the new Prime Minister of Canada, the 24th Prime Minister of Canada to be exact. So let's run the clip and let's talk about it, if he has any moves or not. So here's Mr. Mark. The sign, I don't know what that is. Mark Carney, you're funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because obviously he's 59 years old. Can you believe that? So he won, and we are excited to see that our Prime Minister can dance. Now, talking about folks who can dance, recently Beyonce did her Cowboy Carter kickoff for her tour. She's not coming to Canada. Boo-hoo, we're crying. Beyonce, think about it. Come, me just do the interview and tell people whisper for go see you. So she did her kickoff in Los Angeles, and I'm telling you, her daughters were there. But the daughter that stood out to me, Miss Blue Ivy is just phenomenal. This young lady has grown up in front of our eyes, and we have lived to see a beautiful, well-rounded, smart, talented young lady doing her thing. Now, the thing is, a lot of folks are saying, she's one of those Nepo babies, of course, getting, riches and all the other stuff from their mothers or fathers. But I think this lady can stand on her own because she definitely works hard. She definitely knows what it takes to move the crowd. And I think it's not just one thing, people giving her stuff. So that's not just my personal thought. She works really, really hard. So here is Blue Ivy doing her dance. Please, let's talk about it after, because me no say me can't dance. I'm not going to dance at all when I'm so young, not even when I'm so old. So here's Blue Ivy doing her dance at her mouth. Okay, here I am. Go, Sandy. No, okay, I won't do it. But I'm telling you, that little girl can dance. Whatever you have to say about that family, it is one thing that you can always state and say that, of course, that Blue Ivy is talented. So as I said, the tour is off and it is now running, and we're just hoping and praying that she comes to Canada because we want to see her. I missed her the last time, but promise you this, if she ever comes to Canada, I'll be the one in the front row. Don't know how I get tickets. Don't tell nobody. But I will be there screaming, going, Beyonce! Anyways, another person that we're going to be screaming for and about is my guest today. We've got an amazing talent, Mr. Teff. He is on live with us today because he's going to talk to us about his musical career. He's going to talk to us about his aspirations in this business. He's going to talk to us about what his legacy what he wants his legacy to be. And so we're so excited to have Teff here on the line with me, the one and only Mr. Teff. I welcome you to the show. You know, I don't know what it is that I have to kind of say to you, but hi there, how are you?
To the show. I'm
You
so happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. And thank you so very much for coming on
Likewise.
to talk to us because you know what it is? It's one of those things when you have talent such as yourself. But when you have talent such as yourself who are accommodating, who are kind, who are generous, who are just exemplars of what it is that it takes to be a celebrity. So thank you so very much for coming on board with us today and talking to me. And we've got people in the background. It's live.
Yes.
It's all live. Everything is
Sorry
live.
about that. That was my brother. He didn't know that I'm on alive.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's all live.
Yeah.
Hi, my friend.
Yeah.
How you doing? No,
Yeah.
anyway. So, Jatav, thank you once again for coming on the show with me today. Now, for those who have been living underneath a rock, please tell us who you are, where you're from, and yeah, we're just here to listen.
Yeah. Blessed Sandy Daly. It's nice to be on your show. Well, Jatef, well, I'm a reggae artist, dancehall, and I'm from Jamaica, a little town known as Montego Bay. Born and
Hey,
raised.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Jamaica.
how long did you live in? Have you lived in Jamaica?
Well, I lived there since I was a kid, and I
Yeah,
migrated to America when I was like 33 in my when I was a fully grown man, like maybe 32.
right. Which was
I
yesterday,
migrated
right?
to
Which
America.
was yesterday because you look so young. So you're
Yeah,
32.
yeah, I'm still, I never move. Thank you for that.
Which was yesterday, right?
Thank you for that. Which was yesterday. Yeah, so I spent most of my life in Jamaica, schooled and raised in Montego Bay, and
Right.
started my career in school, in high school, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
after high school, I ventured into being an artist, learn the craft, moved from Montego Bay to Kingston, you know, as a capital. And when I went to Kingston, that's where I gradually became an official, centered, rounded artist. And then we started travel the world. So
Amazing.
then, yeah, I came to America and then explore more, and take it from there. It's just F.
And what has the experience been like for you? Because obviously, I know that it is not an easy road to follow in terms of the music business. What has this
Well, the experience,
been like?
the experience was good and bad. But
Right.
I take the good and bad as an experience where it got a balance.
Of course.
So I'm gonna give you the bad part of it, then the good part.
Of course. Of course. We're here for it.
so
Yeah.
so the bad part of it is when I was going to school, my parents didn't want me to be an entertainer. They they always wanted to be something that, you learn a trade,
Yeah.
learn, you know what I mean? But when I'm in school, I even dropped out of school when I was in the last grade to graduated. Just to pursue the music.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it's the bad part of it, but the bad part of it that time I have it hard getting into the music business just to get known, get heard. I got to in those time I got to enter talent show contest. So my first talent show contest I entered in Montego Bay was a DJ contest,
Right.
and I won it with a song called "Education is the Key." Because going to school, my dad always told me you got to read, you got to write, you got to get your education.
Right.
So I use that as a tool and as an example for my younger peers to know that not because you fell out of school at the last stage, you still got to keep that education up.
Of course.
So being with that being said, after I fell out of school, I started to homeschool myself, like read a lot, do a lot of research. Those times there was no computer, it was library. So I
Right.
love the library. So I go to the library and you know what I'm saying? Get
Right.
my thing more situated. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was a little bad part of it. Then after I entered the contest, I won. No, the bad part of it now, after you won the contest, you still got a lot of setback. You had no recordings. Some people know you, some don't. And at those times, you got to have the faith and the attitude to push through to get where you needed.
Right.
So, you be going around singing on community sound system, trying. Then the good part of it now, I elevate myself by moving to Kingston,
Right.
to the big city, from
Wow.
Montego Bay to Kingston to the big city,
Right.
to let my light shine and enlighten my career to people who doesn't know me. Then when I moved to Kingston, I met Bounty Killer,
Oh wow.
Rodney Price.
Right.
So when I met him, he produced a song with me. We talk and he puts the song with me and Brother Boring label known as Take Your Exercise. So that was the good part of it where he helped me to propel my career so I could get listen ears. And that
Right.
was in 1996. Then no, after he recorded me, I came to America for the Bob Marley concert in California in 96.
Right.
So the good and the bad come together to balance because if you don't have a bad experience, you can't just enjoy the good about it. You got to balance both of it. Yeah.
Right. So it was definitely a learning experience for you, even though there were trials and stuff like that along the way, obviously, right?
Most definitely, and I gotta learn because what I learned from the bad experience, I use it up to today to keep my
Right.
eyes open.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for the bad part of it to balance with the good.
Right. And there's been a song that, we played it here just to kind of make sure that we knew exactly what was happen. And the song's Careful. Tell us a bit about that song called Careful.
Well, careful coming from bad experience
There.
that I
Oh,
experienced coming up.
right.
No,
Right.
careful is a song that I produced, and from a bad experience is the way people treat me when I was down, when I was looking it. Now that um I made it halfway. I didn't say I made it to the top yet, but I'm halfway
All
going
right.
through those same people trying to holler at me now, like, wow, my persistence got me here. So
Right.
now I gotta turn my not a blind eye, but I gotta turn a side eye to help those people. Now I'm asking myself, should I not? So that's where
Right.
the inspiration come up from careful how you treat people because I'm saying, look how they treat me when I was needed, when I need
Right.
them.
Right.
Now the table turned, they need me. So
Right.
that's where the experience come from, like careful how you treat people.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
Because
a good
everything
way.
you do come back at you, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I always say to folks, I always talk about forgiveness. And I love the fact that you didn't shun them, right?
No, no,
Because
no,
I
no.
always say because
The
I always
thing
say forgiveness is not for you, for the next man. It is for yourself. So when anything happens, I always try my best to forgive people, Jatef, because as I said, it will better me as I go along. So I love the fact of how you have
yeah,
kind of passed on that.
and I want to say something to as what you say pertaining to what you just said. Yeah,
Yeah.
forgiveness is not for me; it's from God. And
Yes.
through I was raised, my mom and dad, as two morals person, they taught me to forgive and move on. Now,
Right.
it's not that they did me anything bad to stop me, but it's just them attitude towards what I was doing. They never
Right.
believe. So
Right.
I get to believe in me that I got to believe in me in what I do.
Right.
So because of my belief, makes me where I'm at now talking to you. So
Yeah,
I ain't worry about what they did. I use it as a golden tool to propel myself.
I love that. And so we're definitely going to hear the song that, we're discussing right now. It's called Careful. Once again, everybody knows, I only know one move, and it's called Bogle, Jatef. So if you see me doing the Bogle, don't laugh at me.
Well, Bogle is a long time. You got to do the new moves. You know what
I
I'm
know,
saying?
that's what I'm saying. Somebody
You
help me,
got to wave the plane and row the boat and all that thing, and yet they, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying my best, Jatef. Somebody
It's
help me, please.
easy.
And anyways, here is Careful. We just want to listen to it and just give a little snippet, and then we come back on the other side of it to make sure that.
Love and cherish your sisters and brothers. What you don't like for yourself, don't do it to others. I just a fun tricky. Respect our mothers.
Careful how you treat people. Not for them are free people. Be careful how you treat people. Everything will come back to you. Be careful how you treat people.
I love that. I love that. The beat is so nice. Was there like a lot of thought going into picking that beat behind that song?
Well, the beat is original. I produced that song.
Nice.
So when first I got to big up the singer and is known as Twiggy from Penthouse, and I can yeah. So that song, the beat I made it originally for that song specifically.
Right.
So it's an original dancehall beat because I want to bring back that dancehall drum and bass.
Right.
And I wanna bring a beat that stands out in the dance where people can listen to because the message is strong. So I got to have a strong beat to bring the message because each one teach one to make it reach one, it reach the
Right.
ears. You feel what I'm saying? So
Right. Of
careful is
course.
everything about careful is original.
Right. Wow. And it's so funny that you mentioned a song Twiggy. Twiggy. So the singer Twiggy, is that the singer from out of Florida?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
Twiggy from Florida. Yeah, she
that's
resides in
my
Florida.
good,
Yeah.
and that's why I recognized the voice. That's my good friend, my good Scorpio friend. So you're
Yeah,
in
so
good
when you say
hands,
Twiggy, you gotta say Twiggy, I got the new song with you with just have careful how you treat
right?
people. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is my girl. So you're in good hands. So I know you're a good brother because that woman is phenomenal. She is an amazing singer, but you know what? Most importantly, she's an amazing person,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this is
amazing
why.
person. I gotta give it up for her. She's an
Yeah,
amazing person and
an
she loves
amazing person.
positiveness. She like
Positiveness.
positivity.
Exactly. Another Scorpio lady. Big up Striggy. Sandy says hi. You know?
Yes.
So you're in good hands. You've done make good progress. Now for me, in terms of you, where do you see yourself going in the next little while? You've done a lot so far. What is it that you'd like to accomplish that you haven't done thus far, Jata?
Well, I always said this in my interview. What I'd like to accomplish is more blessing and life overall. Because once there's life,
Right.
there's hope. So for material things to me is nothing.
Right.
Material things to me is nothing. I wanna achieve more blessing, more life to carry on. That's all I'm searching for. More
Right.
blessing, more life. Because if I have more blessing, more life, I treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So my accomplishment in life is
Right.
more life.
Right. Wow. Amazing. More life.
More life.
And I know that you're a writer. You love to write as well. I mean, speaking for one, I can't write music to save my life,
Okay.
but a person who's creative, myself, I love the writing process. What is it like when you actually have a thought in your head to create a song, to write a song? How long does that usually take you? Do you go through a process? You have to go through days sitting by yourself. You know what I mean? Is there a process? Can nobody talk to you? What happens in the writing process for you?
Well, what happened is everybody write different. For
Yes.
me, for my writing process is like I may be on the plane traveling and an idea comes to me. So I just whisper it on my phone, I record it on my phone, and I leave it like that. So when I
Right.
get to the hotel, I write down the lines that I had. Then I may leave it for maybe 2 days. Then I come
Right.
back to it again and so next idea come to me. So I piecing my writing skill, I piecing it as I go day by day.
Right.
Like it's an inspiration that come to me while I write. I don't just sit down and think about something to write. Yeah, I may sit down and think about something, so I write down the punchline or 4 lines and I
Right.
save it. So my writing skill is like building a house. I bet the foundation, I get the chorus, I get
Right.
the verse, you know what I'm saying? And I piece
Yeah,
them
yeah.
together.
Right, right,
so,
right.
so, so my writing skill may take a day or two, maybe a
Yeah,
week. Depends on the topic and what I want to say because I only talk about facts in my music. So I
right.
got to gather all the facts to put together.
Of course. I love
You know what
that.
I mean? Yeah,
And
so
and the fact is that you are an amazing artist. Now, you have traveled a lot because I was reading your bio. Tell me some of the places that you've been to and what has stood out to you the most. Which place has actually said, you know what? I like the place and I'm gonna go back. Or something really happened that you wanted to share or keep as a memory in that big heart of yours.
well, some of the places I traveled California, Texas, Nebraska, Detroit, Ohio, I mean Chicago.
Right.
But the New York, the most famous standard to me is New York.
Of course. That's the
New
city
York,
that
baby.
never sleeps.
New York, New York.
I
It-
know, right? The
yeah, New
city
York
that
is
never
like
sleeps.
my home back in Jamaica, but I'm from Brooklyn. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? I reside in Brooklyn, so when I'm in Brooklyn, it keep you on your toes. In the Jamaican diaspora, the Caribbean diaspora is like, each September we have the float, so
right.
it's like I'm back home. You got everything in New York. The
Yes,
food, the culture.
of course.
I can't give no. I travel the whole United States. Florida. Yeah, I like Florida. It stands out, but not like how New York stands out.
Stands
I
out.
ain't gonna
And
knock it.
of course. And have you ever been to Canada,
No,
Jata?
I've never been to Canada. No, I'm planning to
What?
be to Canada. I'm planning. Listen, it's on my agenda. Canada is on my
Right,
my, 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 my calendar to be, but why I never come to Canada? I never get a request to do a show. But
Okay.
I think with this new song that we had, Careful and the
Yeah.
Snatcher, I think it's coming because I never had a this is my first interview I had in Canada for a host. I never had an
Okay.
interview from a Canadian host. So I think
There
this
you
is
go.
in my portfolio, this is history to me talking to you from Canada.
Oh,
You
I
know what I'm
love it.
saying?
I
Yeah.
love it. And this is why we do this show called, for those who are just watching, The Daily Grind. It is myself as a Jamaican, as a Canadian, just bridging the gap. You know what I mean? Talking to folks like yourself from the Caribbean, but living in the States, and just trying to bridge that gap. So this is why The Daily Grind is here. And I'm so excited to have you here with me again, Jatef. Now, I have one more question. The song Can't Sleep. Is this because you couldn't sleep?
Yeah, it's really because I can't sleep. No, I told you. Listen. Sandy
Yes,
Daly. Listen,
yes,
bear with me. The
I will.
song Can't Sleep is a very, very factual song and it's relatable to
Right, of
people who
course.
are in, it's for lovers, it's for people who think about the family, you know what I
Right.
mean? Because at times, if you love someone and you think about them and they're not
Oh,
home, you can't sleep.
of course.
Your mama don't have come home yet, you wonder where mama, daddy ain't come home. It's so
Yeah,
relatable. So
of,
Can't Sleep, it has a wide range of,
of course.
you know what I'm saying? Can't
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
Can't
Right,
sleep
I
at
know. Of
night.
course, right. And how was that writing that song for you? What was it like writing that song?
It was enjoyable. It was one of the most beautiful time I had in the studio because I put my experience to it, and then I brought in this girl known as Keisha Martin. And she put her experience to it. It was
Yeah,
nice. It was our love. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It was one of my best writing time in the studio because we all put love in it and put our
right.
experience in it, and it's come to wonderful. It can't
Right,
sleep at night.
amazing. So we're gonna be playing that right now. And once again, as I said, Jatef, help me with my dance because my bogle, everybody knows my bogle goes for everything except for Christian tunes. Sometimes I'll
No, this song you gotta give them the can't sleep dance, not the
okay, all
boogie
right. So
now.
you're gonna show me. So when it plays, we're gonna play it now, and I'm gonna let you do it, and I'm gonna
Can't
try
sleep
it. Oh, this
dance.
is this.
Yeah, sleep now. Yeah. You want to sleep, then you wake up. You want to
Yeah, me
sleep,
love
then you
her.
wake
Me know
up.
say me love her. Yeah, me love her. Me
All
know
right,
say
That's
me
a
so
new
love
one.
her.
Can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Wish you were here by my
I love
side.
it.
fun. It's a nice melody.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
I
can't sleep,
can't
wake
sleep
up.
at night. Being
Can't sleep,
here without
wake
you,
up.
it
Thank
just
you.
don't
That's a
seem right.
nice tune.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like how the difference, what I've noticed with your songs, and I listened to some other ones too, is that you're not a one note person. So
No.
you're basically, you can do the soft tunes and you can do the harder tunes. And I love that because it just shows variety, shows versatility in an artist, right? As such as yourself.
Yeah, because this Sunday daily, you gotta touch her softly.
Hey, hey, right? Hey.
Yeah, you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Ladies love, listen, it's three things in life you got to know when you do music. You got to know when,
Right.
where, and how.
Of
When,
course.
where, and how.
Right. Could you have told all my exes that? Just maybe would have saved me a couple of a couple of problems. Anyways, thank you so much. I'll have to put that down. Sandy Daly, you have to touch her something. Okay. So
Yeah, you got to touch her
Judge,
softly.
right? Judge, now before we close up, I do have a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about as we kind
Yeah.
of interview. But first and foremost, please come to Canada soon. And I thank you so very much for the great interview. Is there anything that you wanted to say before we jump to a few other topics that I wanted to discuss with you?
Well, I'd love to come to Canada to do a live with you in your studio. That's my
Of
first thing.
course, of
You say
course.
live in board so we could wrap things more,
Right, right,
yeah, eye
right.
to
Have
eye.
you on the couch? Have you on the
Yes,
couch and sitting
yes,
on
sit
the
on the
couch?
couch. But as I say, it's God and time. It's
Yes,
God and time. For
of
the
course.
universe, you just let the universe reveal itself to you. You
Right,
good, you just do good in the universe, and the universe just place you where He wanna place you. So I
of
work with the
course,
universe.
of
So
course.
2025, I'm no the universe gonna keep me alive. So I may
Yes,
be in
in
Canada
Canada,
sometime.
of
So
course,
it's
of
just the
course.
universe,
I
man. I love
appreciate
to be there.
that.
So I just wait until when the universe says it's your time. Then I just move with the wind. I just move on the wings of the wind. You know what I'm saying?
And I think for you, the wind is going to move you very far with everything because you are a versatile singer, songwriter, and this is what makes people like such as yourself really stick out and stand out. So we appreciate you. Good luck to your career with you in your career. And we're just going to be moving on to some other things right now. Thank you so very much for that. So I wanted to talk to you. And, for me, the Daily Grind is all about bringing the information such as yourself, but bringing other information to the artists and anyone that is on my show. Now, recently there was a situation that happened and is currently happened with the NFL player, Mr. Shannon Sharp. And I
Yeah, I
think
heard
that
about
we
it. I heard
definitely
about it.
have. So we have a little clip of him. So basically, for those who don't know, he has been sued recently for $50 million by a young lady who said that she was assaulted by him a few years back or recently. And so he is disputing that, stating that this was basically a part of their relationship. Now, I do have a clip of him talking about this, and I'm going to come back on the other side after this clip for a little bit. We're going to play maybe 15 seconds of it. I do have a clip of him talking about this and giving his version. So just stand by. We're going to play that for you right now, and then you and I are
To
going to
my
discuss
family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing...
Thank you so very much. And, so we saw that. We just saw that, Teff. And you've heard what's been happening. Now, do you have any thoughts? Now, obviously, we don't want you to ask you your opinion on certain things, but in the situation like this, right, what has been your thoughts in terms of the music industry and perhaps things happening in it that should not happen? Say something of this nature. Have you ever been approached by anyone? Seeing that you're such a popular singer, females or anything of that sort, to say, hey, can we go out? How do you approach certain things like that? How do you handle certain things like that?
Well, in relate to what you're saying, how you asking me if it was me, how would I handle it? Or
Yes,
you asking my
yes,
opinion
yes.
on Shannon Sharp? I just want to know the
Your
difference.
opinion on Shannon Sharp. Yes,
Okay, my opinion on Shannon Sharp. As a black person, and
yes,
such allegation comes about on a person, you want to wait until you see the facts.
right,
Some people always want to, crucify people when they heard about something and whatever they say. But for a black brother, to honest black brother, you just wait until you see the facts. Now, if it
exactly,
happened, we don't know, we wasn't there.
right,
So, in my opinion, I'll just say wait until you see the facts played out.
right, right,
Give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Just
right,
don't go say, oh, Shannon Sharp, this or the girl. It's just, let
Give,
nature take its course.
right, and
It's
let's
got
find
a
out.
time.
Yes,
So, what my mama told me,
what did
and
she
my
say?
dad told
Yes,
me, what's in the dark
must
must
come.
come to light.
Exactly, exactly,
So, in my opinion, on that, just
right,
let what is in the dark come to light. And then when
right.
it comes to light, now we can say, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it's still in the dark.
Right. And I
So,
always say that there's always then not even two sides to a story. There's three, four sides. Sometimes you just have to kind of, because everybody has their opinion on certain things. We just have to kind of wait, as you're saying, to see
until it
what is
come
that
to
until it comes
light.
out. Right. Because we
Because right
will
now,
find it.
it's just
Right.
darkness. It's in the dark.
Yes,
So
exactly.
some people know what's happening in the dark, but it has to come to light so me and you can see the light. So let
Right.
the light shine. Whenever the light shines,
Yes, exactly. And I thank you for your opinion on that. Now,
yeah,
another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this was a very kind of a sad story, not kind of, very sad and tragic story.
yeah.
Adriana Young was a young girl, was killed in Guyana over the last few days ago at the Doubleday Hotel, and so they found her in a pool. And of course, I'm sure you've seen all the protests that have been happening,
Yeah.
all the outrage, all the voices of transparency that's been asked for, because obviously there's something there that was hidden. This young girl, 11-year-old beautiful young girl, will show a couple of her photos right now, was killed. And so we definitely wanted to say our condolences to her family, because obviously this young girl did not even have a chance to live her life. Now, for you, Jatev, what does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to see somebody such as this young person lose her life in such a state?
Well, RIP to her and her family, and I pray
Yeah.
that they all get through with that, with the pain and the suffering. But as a dad,
Yeah.
I got kids and I got a daughter, and it's sad. My daughter is 18 years old.
Right.
She's been another and getting to be an adolescence, but this girl is 11. She haven't lived any life yet. She's a
Exactly.
baby. So as a dad and as a family man with kids, it's sad. It's very
Right.
sad to know that a young baby lose her life like that, and she got such a beautiful life ahead of her. It's very
Right.
sad. And for me, seeing that is
Mhm.
painful, very
Right.
painful for the mom and the dad to lose a child like that. But tomorrow is another day, so I pray that they
Yeah.
get through the pain and the suffering, and I hope they find healing in this time.
Right.
I
And
hope they find
definitely,
healing.
definitely for me, I think it's the fact as one does not know what really happened to this young
Yeah,
girl.
we don't know, and as I say, in the first thing, what's in the dark got to come to light.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it is a mystery how she died. Nobody knows. They say they find her in a pool, but then they say she left the hotel. So
Right.
it's like you don't know where to go. So there's something in the dark.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just a
Exactly.
sad story, and I
Right.
just pray that the mom and dad find some comfort and some healing. I know they're waiting on the answer to get comfort, but she already gone. So you just got to find comfort in just pray, and you know, I'm sorry, man. It's sad. So I pray they find comfort in this painful time
Right.
and just get to a spot where they could heal themselves, because she can't come back no matter what they find in the light. When the light comes around, it's just sad. You person lose their life, and justice cannot bring back the child, but at least it makes them feel comfortable.
Of course. Of course.
So I just pray that they find comfort and healing in this time.
Of course. And we thank you for that because definitely it just shows that we're all in this together. I'm here in Canada. You are where you are with this happening in Guyana. Everybody has heard about this story. Everybody's hearts have been pulled
Yeah, come
so
on. It's
violently, right?
when I heard when I used some of the article and I read about it, I heard something about it, but I didn't dig deep into it. Like
Right,
in New York they be protesting and we're like, who's that?
right,
I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't see it on the
right,
TV because I'm so busy. But when I read
right.
the article today, I was like, wow, that's what happened. So it touches my heart, and I be like, and prayer goes out to the family. So as a dad,
Yeah.
I got 5 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, wow.
So for a
That one
dad
girl, right, of
to
course.
lose a daughter. Listen, I never became a man until I get a daughter.
Oh, wow. I
Getting a
always hear
daughter
I always hear that. I
is
always hear
very
that.
special in a man's life.
Right, of course.
I got 4 boys and I will hit them around here and there, like get up my face. But when it comes to the daughter, as a
Yeah.
dad, she do anything. Oh,
Of
dad,
course.
you so soft. So I know how the younger dad feeling right now.
Right, of course. It is very difficult because, as I said, we do not know what really happened. But as you said, whatever is in the dark, it
Don't
must
come to
come
light.
to light because it's just how the universe works. So we are sending our prayers, our
Prayers,
loves
yes.
to that family and definitely just wishing them the best in this
Condolence.
very difficult time. Very, very difficult time.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Exactly. And just make sure that you keep, I have a young son and I'm telling you, when we go out, he's right here with me. He doesn't stray off too far. Some people sometimes go, you know what, let him go. But listen, until he can manage himself, he's at the age young boy. I still
Yeah.
keep him very close to me until he can. I know that he's good to manage himself, and you've got to do that for children these days.
Gotta protect. Notice the fowl when she has a chicken, they walk with the
Yeah,
mom right there.
of
Everything
course,
protects the young born. The bird protects the young born. Everything protects the young born. So as a mom, as a parent, you gotta protect the kids. You cannot listen, protection is a thing you gotta add to the kids, even when they're 25, 26,
of
when they're even
course,
grown.
of course. When they're grown, of
You
course,
still
of
have to protect
course.
as a dad and a
You
mom. You still
still,
gotta
you still
protect
have
your
to
kids,
protect
man.
them for the children. As I have older children too, my children are always like, "Mom, seriously, I'm good. Mom, seriously, I'm good." But I
No,
call
no,
them
you're not good.
You're not good.
Not
I
good.
can
Until
tell.
I'm there and I'm looking, watching over you. Then you
I
good.
can tell. I can tell. So thank you, Joseph. I'm sure I'm glad that you got it. So we are so grateful that you are on the show with us today. Come back anytime, drop by anytime. When you come to Canada, make sure that you come in the summertime because I want you to enjoy yourself. I don't want to see you here. Wintertime is
I'm
okay,
from New York.
but
I'm
it's
from New
cold.
York, baby.
Oh,
So,
Canada cold is not like New York cold, my
oh my
friends.
God. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give it up with that.
Cold is not like New York. So tell us where you're going to be. Where can folks see you next? Where you're going to be performing, and how can they reach you online?
Okay, well, my fans can, all my fans listen now. You can reach me on Instagram, Jatef. You can reach me on Facebook, Jatef. TikTok on Jatef. Twitter, Jatef. Jahteff, 2 word. Just Google Jatef in the Google. Just Google my name, Jatef, in the engine, and everything comes up. You know what I'm saying? My next show gonna be the best of the best on May 25th at Bayfront Park.
Oh wow. Okay, perfect. And who are you looking forward to that? How big is that show going to be?
It's great for me, man, because we have some great performing like Buju Banton, Wayne
Hey,
Wonder,
hey.
Barry Marcia Griffiths, Chronic Law, Roman Virgo. It's a big
What?
show. I'm looking forward to that to perform at my best ability. It's my first time going to the best of the
What?
best, and I'm going to go give it the best of the best.
Right. Oh my God. I know. I have my friend and the person who runs. She goes, "I'm trying to go to that show." So
No, you need to come to the show. You need to
I'm
make sure
trying
you
to
buy
go
your
to
ticket from May 25th at Bayfront Park, downtown Miami, Florida, man. You
Okay,
need to, man.
amazing, amazing.
You
So
need for me to big you up on the show. Big up Sandy Daily.
big on Sandy
Remember to touch
Daly.
her softly.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt. Remember to touch her softly. Trust me.
Yes, Sandy Daily. Remember to touch her softly. And speak to her softly.
Thank you, Dante. I love that, and all those names that you just called. I appreciate them, but on that show is also going to be Jatef. So big up
Yes.
to you and congrats to you. And we are so grateful that you came on to the show. And I will see you when you come to Canada and make sure that you, of course, make sure you reach out and say, Sandy Daly Medina.
Listen, before I come, I'm gonna make sure my management calls Sandy Daily and say, when we land at what's the name of the airport?
Pearson.
When I was a Pearson, I said, listen, Pearson, I'm here. I said, Top Shutter is back. Go get Sandy Daily. Tell her Top Shutter is back.
I love
Spread
it.
the word.
Right? Thank you, Jatef. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
Salute.
Take care. And of course, that
Yes.
was Jatef, and he's such an amazing artist. Please check him out online. This, of course, has been another edition of the Daily Grind with Sandy Daly. On Saturday, we're going to have a big artist coming through. Make sure you come through. Next week, of course, it's going to be Shoot Your Shot again. Next week, Wednesday, we have a beautiful girl for you. Her name is Bana. So she's going to be here next Wednesday. But for now, I am Sandy Daly. You can catch me on all social media platforms at the Sandy Daily, and I'll be right back here with you again on Saturday at 6 p.m. And I'll say goodbye for now and walk good. All right, bye bye. Take care. See you next time.